What? Even a mech can't destroy this wall? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Alpha Born. So today I'm going to show you 2 vault tricks that will help you improve your death walls. So stay tuned. And if it's your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of my uploads. Okay guys, so you've seen me do some vault drop builds before, and a few of you have actually asked me how do you do 2 different rows of vault dropping. So first I'm going to demonstrate that, and second I'm going to demonstrate a kind of glitch that has been tested on my single player official settings and has been tested on Alpha Born. So one with collision turned on and the other with collision turned off. So I'm going to assume that this would actually work on official as well, but let me know down below guys if you try it on official and it doesn't work. Okay, I don't actually play official anymore, but I do like to do videos on official settings so everyone can give them a try. But let's get into this. Okay, so we're going to start off as we do with all vault walls basically. We're just going to lay the foundations. I'm going to be using the large metal walls for convenience, but you do not need to use these, okay? You can build in the normal walls if that's what you prefer. I'm not going to do anything too big either. I don't want to be wasting all day and wasting a lot of your time essentially doing a massive build that I can do with a nice small build. So, normal foundations, walls up, ceiling, vault, remove the ceiling, rinse and repeat. So that's your normal vault wall. Now, in some of my videos that I've used 2 rows of vaults, a few of you have asked me how to actually do that. It's actually a lot easier than you probably think. All you actually need to do, instead of doing just one ceiling and then vaults, you actually just need to do 2 ceilings out, and then as of being, you know, OCD building or trying to be a perfectionist, you then just need to try and mark up to roughly where you want it to be. I personally prefer a slight gap between the vaults, but if you don't want to do that, then you can pretty much mark up the second row with the middle of the ceiling. Now this one can be tricky when you're doing it inside caves, because obviously the cave roof can start taking away on official, or should I say on official settings, and everything becomes obstructed. So try to plan where to build this. You do need more room to build it, so to speak, in a cave. So try to plan ahead as to where you would like to build it. Oh, I've missed one there. I know some of you won't be very impressed with that. And there you have it. We now have 2 rows of vaults, which should fit a hatch frame quite nicely. Oh snap. There we go. Right. So as you can see, you could quite easily, if you put the first row of vaults closer to the wall, you'll have more leeway when it comes to the actual hatch frame and placing turrets. However, you could quite easily get a turret on there. In fact, let's have a quick look. So you see, so even though the vault's very close, you know, you can still get turrets on there. I personally like that because it means that, one, there's less of the hatch frame being shown, but 2, people taking shots at hatch frames, if they're missing, they're going to be hitting vaults. Vaults, of course, are a lot harder to destroy and they have a lot more HP. So hatch frame has 1500 where the vault has 50. So, you know, I'm trying to build in a way that is going to cost raiders a lot of resources to get into my base. And that's the one thing to remember. You can never make something truly unraidable, but at the very least, you can make it expensive to raid. So that's the first tip. Now let's crack on to tip 2. So, tip 2, we are actually going to do this. Instead of allowing the vaults to drop all the way down, we're actually going to put a ceiling. I mean, you can put it on the foundation if you really want to, I suppose. Let's give it a try and see if it still works. But this one is actually multi-stacking. So for those of you that might know about my behemoth gate trick, I've recently learned that you can also do that with vaults. So let me just demonstrate. So we're going to vault drop as normal. This will be very expensive as well, guys. So do what you will with this information. Try it, don't try it. It's entirely your choice. But like I said, anyone on Official watching this now, please give it a go. Let me know in the comments if it does work. Right now I am on Official settings, but I know that there's some single player glitches that don't work on Official itself. So just let me know. But as of non-dedicated, with no collision setting, this will work. I tested it today just to guarantee. So, your standard vault drop, as you can see, what is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 volts. Now we've done that, we're going to get rid of this ceiling. But hold on, where's all the other volts gone? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Well, they have merged all in. As you can see, there's a few little rows there. And just to show you what I mean, let's get some C4. Can't remember exactly how many it is to blow up 1 volt, but I figured I'll just make a big bang. Now what do we see? Look at that. Now, if a tribe dedicates their resources and time to achieving this on a full death wall, can you imagine how close or how near to undestroyable that's going to be? There goes the first vault. Second vault has taken a bit of damage underneath, so that's the thing to remember, I guess, that I assume once the damage is enough to remove the vault, whatever damage I suppose is left over is transferred onto the next vault. But either way, now let's just get rid of a few more, and then what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to vault this entire wall, and I'm going to keep dropping them, and we'll see how our plethora does with it. So we'll see how a mech does with it, shall we? Alright, so again, don't know how many C4 that is, just going to do a big bang. So that's quite interesting. The one on the left took the brunt of the damage, but the one on the right does have a slight bit of damage to it, which is from the original vault before. So it's almost like the game is picking and choosing which vault is taking damage right now. Let me see if I can damage both. Let's just have a look at how effective really is this, because I've never actually built a base using this method on my walls. I've done the behemoth one, and the behemoth one is very effective. Might even have a video coming up soon, guys, where I am actually going to show a lot of the current glitch hopes that they might get noticed and fixed, because there you go, it's a 27. Alright, okay, let me just blow that. Alright. But as you can see, so I've blown multiple volts now. There we go, that was all 5. So, give me a minute, let me lay a few rows of these, and come and check it out, and we'll see what we can get done with it. Okay guys, so that's 3 rows, 5 volts meshed on the bottom, 4 meshed on the second row, and 3 volts meshed on the third row, okay? So like I said, I could go taller, but obviously it's just time consuming. So let's get a mech, and maybe even an alpha plethora, and let's see, could this wall really be near undestroyable? Okay, got the Arthro buffed. It's now got 1118 damage. Let's see what this one does. 880 to a foundation per byte. That's not bad. So let's try and get round to these vaults. So again, 880. Oh no, yeah, I have got a tribe log. Okay. So far, just a foundation destroyed. How have I not destroyed one yet? $11k remaining. Really? Maybe the alpha plethora is not the way to go against a wall like this. Good to know. It's about time we have some type of defense against the alpha. Just spamming my trigger over again. Now what happened there? So the top row just vanished. So now I'm curious, did they mesh into the others, or have they literally just disappeared? Let me look at tribe log. So I destroyed one vault. Let me second row had 4 vaults in it, was it? Let me just have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. The top row meshed into the bottom ones, but not into the third ones. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, that was 3, which is on the top row, 3. What about down here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 remaining. So the third row meshed into the second, but the first row took a lot from the alpha plethora to destroy. I'll be honest, I'm actually getting a bit curious what you guys are going to do with this type of building in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, and come back to me and let me know how you've adapted things, what you found out about it, and just how you've added this into your builds. Let's get the mech. Okay, so the mech's only a primitive level 51. It's got 230 damage. Let's see what we can do with this. Come around the front, so I'm going to try and get the vaults more than the walls, but who cares? I can't actually see any damage on the vaults. Again, one of my more recent videos of like the behemoth trick, the mech wasn't really causing damage to the behemoths. Again, it could have been because they were stacked, I'm not too sure, but even the normal vault wall stopped taking damage at some point, so I really don't trust the mech anymore. I'll keep going, but at the moment I can't actually see if there's any damage to the vaults or not. Okay, so foundation gone. Vaults aren't really changing colour at all. In fact, yeah, I don't think I'm really hurting them. So, let me know down below, guys, do you think I've just made the undestroyable wall with vaults? Just let me know. I mean, we say nothing will truly be unraidable, nothing will truly be undestroyable. But this is taking this is taking the mick. We are literally getting next to nothing done. My mech even ran out of stamina before destroying a vault. Yeah, all the mechs destroyed so far is a metal floor. Being the defending tribe, I'm not going to cry about that, I'll just put a new one down. Yep, still can't see any damage. I'm I'm going to go back to the red gun so I can finish this video up, or I'm going to be here for like a year and I don't want to. But let's just see if the second or third row meshes into the first row again, because that was the part I found quite interesting. So let me get a good line of view. Alright. 1, 2, no, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I took out the first row, the second and third row did seem to mesh into it. So that should be, I'm guessing, if I remember correctly, 7 volts now, because 4 and 3. So let's have a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so the other 2 rows both merged into the first row down the bottom. But it's strange how the alpha law destroyed 1 volt and the third row dropped into the second. But then here I destroyed 5 volts, and only on the 5th volt did the other 2 rows drop. We're going to need to play around with this a bit more, guys. But this is quite clearly broken. This is quite clearly a way, if you've got the time to knock out 2000 volts, you could place all of them technically on one death wall. So like I said, let me know down below, guys, if you think this has just broken the game or what. And until next time, I will catch you on Alphaborn. And